I hate Superman. I'm probably not the first person you've heard say that, but I do generally hate Superman. A little bit. And the reason is because the films, even comics, TV shows have not sold me on the character. I always hear Superman as this really wonderful guy. He is just 100% perfect. Where is that Superman? I've not seen him in other media. I've not seen that Superman. But let me take you back to October 2004. So on my birthday, my 10th birthday to be exact, I got this double pack action figure set. And this was with Batman, one of my favourite characters, and probably the most popular superhero in the UK from where I'm from. And I loved Batman. I still love Batman. One of the best. One of the best. And there was this little character with him called Superman. Oh my God, it's worth 40 quid now. That's insane. But yeah, Superman was with him. And I'd never seen anything Superman related. Sure, I'd seen, glimpses of the animated series and even the old 60s cartoon and all that. But I didn't really know who Superman was. And then on the news, it was announced Christopher Reeve, who was known as the Superman, had passed away. And I was very conflicted. I was looking at this action figure and I was looking at the TV. I was looking. And my grandma, oh God rest her soul, she was there and she explained to me who Superman was and why he was amazing and who Christopher Reeve was. And I was like, hold on, Gran. Hold on. I'm the nerd of the family. I should know everything about these superheroes. So eventually I did I did sit down and watch Superman the movie. And I hated it. I didn't like it, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you feel that way, but if you really love it and it's a classic. But as a kid, I didn't enjoy it. I'd had big CGI monsters like Star Wars, Titanic, Harry Potter, all these amazing films with banging CGI. Whereas this one, CGI is a bit rough and everything, and some of the acting's not brilliant. But as I'm nearing 30 now, I have rewatched Superman the movie. And I can confirm it's a classic. But hey, let's not go out of timeline order. Let's stay with 10-year-old Joe. So I'd seen Superman the movie. Didn't like it. Didn't get Superman. See you later, action figure. Batman is the best. A year later, a little film called Batman Begins came out. And this changed comic book movies forever. Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy still is renowned for changing the game for comic book movies. Even today, in a lot of superhero films we see. Not just DC, but also Marvel. And yeah, I still remember seeing this film and thinking, wow, this is why I love Batman. This is how cool Batman is. Who's Superman? A year later, another little film came out called Superman Returns with Brandon Routh playing Superman. And the lead up to this was insane. The trailers were so cool. The merchandise. I got that S-top. I was ready to fall in love with Superman. And then I saw the film. And it was really boring. It was a boring film. I didn't remember much of it. There were some cool action sequences, like him catching the plane, and that's about it. But, there was some cool stuff. So as soon as I saw the film, I was not interested. Even though I did keep playing the Superman Returns game on PlayStation 2, and that still rocks. That's still a good video game, I have to admit. But I didn't get Superman. I didn't fall in love with him. Who is Superman? Anyway, a couple of years passed. There's been no sequel to this film, and this was a sequel. Well, it was intended to be a direct sequel from Superman 2, which I had eventually watched before this film's release, and it was definitely better than the first one, as far as I remember. But again, I just wasn't getting Superman. I didn't get him. Why wasn't I loving this character in the DC universe? Who is he? But, Returns didn't make much money. It was on $200 million budget, and it only made $391 million, and also Bryan Singer is a piece of shit. So, so Superman Returns, So yeah, Warner Brothers saw Batman Begins, obviously, as they made it, and went, people like this grounded sort of superhero stuff. Why don't we make a grounded Superman movie? So they got an edgy director and a very dark Superman and made Man of Steel. That's not Man of Steel. Where is my Man of Steel? There we go. There's Man of Steel. We'll get to David Corenswet in a minute. But Man of Steel came out. And again, The hype was real. I was ready to see a grounded, gritty Superman movie at the age of 17, 18. You know, I was that age. I wanted to see my superheroes grounded and cool and everything. And, you know, this is post the Avengers. Like, the Avengers came out in 2012, and it had that mixture of lightness, and the MCU was just better in so many ways. But again, I wanted to fall in love with Superman, but I couldn't. So Man of Steel was the perfect opportunity, the third time round, to fall in love with this character. I saw Man of Steel, and I didn't get it. I don't get it. It's definitely one of the best DCEU films, I have to admit. The direction in it is amazing. The action, Henry Cavill is pretty good in it. But I wasn't falling in love with Superman. I wasn't connecting with this guy. Why do people love Superman? I was not understanding it. And obviously, Henry Cavill continued to play Superman for many, many more movies. Well, not that many. And he was just this dark and angry. And, oh, is Superman going to be bad or is it going to be good? Boring stuff, all right? Batman v Superman is terrible, by the way. If you love it, that's great. But Man of Steel, all those Superman movies, all the DCEU stuff, just didn't sell me on Superman. I was done with Superman. And to be honest, as someone who's a big fan of films and TV shows and everything, I really think Superman is probably one of the hardest characters to get right on film. And you have to find the perfect actor, the perfect director, the perfect story to introduce a new generation to Superman. Well, James Gunn, the co-CEO of DC Studios and obviously directed Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad. I love the Suicide Squad, by the way. Came in and went, you know what? I'm going to write a new Superman film. We're going to reboot the DCU. And also, I'm going to direct it. And that is obviously David Corenswet as Superman in what was titled Superman Legacy, but is now just called Superman. And I was like, okay, right, another Superman film. I have to try and get, fall in love with Superman again. Is it going to work? James Gunn is a pretty good director. He's a pretty good writer. And, it's been rumored that this is going to be very true to the comic books, but also it's going to have a James Gunn twist on it, which was recently spoken about. But when this film was announced with the other slate of films, this image was used in the announcement. And a lot of people started speculating, oh my God, is it going to be All-Star Superman? Which is where the image is from. And is it going to be based on that? And James Gunn has gone, no. There's definitely inspiration in that comic book and other comics involving Superman. But it's not all going to be based on that. But what's great about James Gunn and DC Studios is they really want people to read comics. They really want people to get out there and read comic books. And so I did. I picked up one of my first Superman comics, All-Star Superman. And I was like, here we go. A Superman comic. Oh, how boring could this be? It is so good. It is so good. And guys, I finally get Superman. I finally understand who Superman is. And he is the most selfless superhero. He is all round good. And the reason is because he just wants people to live in peace and everything. And I know you're thinking, Joe, that is so simple. Like that revelation is so simple. But again, the other bits of media I'd been seeing was painting Superman as someone a little bit conflicted and the CGI was terrible and the Superman the movie. But this comic book told me who Superman was. And spoilers, I won't go too far. I'll just give you the basic plot. But Superman is basically dying. And what he has to do with his last few days on Earth is basically leave humankind in a good place before he goes. How selfless is that? So he fulfills some dreams, but also fulfills other people's dreams, and also rebuilds bridges with people he's lost contact with, and even rebuilds bridges with villains, or tries to, anyway. But this comic is so, so good. Oh God, Lois Lane's like in a... Ooh, I don't know if that's allowed on YouTube, but the artwork is amazing. And this is by Grant Morrison and a few others, Frank Quietly and Jamie Grant. By the end of reading this, I got Superman. And you know what happens then? I'm excited for James Gunn's Superman movie. So I am ready to fall back in love with Superman. I'm giving him another chance. Not James Gunn. I'm giving Clark Kent, Kal-El, Superman another chance for me to like him. And I have to say, I am very, very excited for Superman. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was just a little breakdown of just why I don't like Superman, but I'm ready to fall back in love with him. There's the explanation. What do you think of Superman? Are you a big fan of Superman? Why do you love him, or why do you not like Superman? Let me know in the comments below. And also, are you looking forward to the new film and what James Gunn is doing with the DCU? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you like this video. It really helps me out. And subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Got loads of content coming out soon. So yeah, thanks for watching and hope you have a good day.